All right, cool. So now that we've kind of gone through optimizing your AdWords account and working through some of that strategy, I want to actually do an ROI calculation with you, if that sounds all right. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna share this form with you, and I'm gonna send it to your Gmail inbox. So if you could pull that up for me.
Uh, yeah, from Matt.
From Matt, that's it there, yeah. So
All right,
just go
cool.
ahead and pull that up, and we'll walk through this together.
hmm
Um, Obviously, you're doing sales of your gourmet coffee, but I think the first question would be, do you have a percentage of customers that come back and purchase more than once?
We do. A lot of folks, we pay for the advertising. They come through, they buy one time, they don't come back, but a good portion of them do. And to be honest, that's what we rely on as a business. Really, if we didn't get repeat buyers, people who are going on the coffee subscription side of our business, then the one time cost, I don't know if we'd be doing too well.
Okay, cool. So what we're going to want to use is we're going to want to use that LTV calculator at the bottom left there that you'll see that stands for lifetime
Uh,
value.
okay, yeah, I
And
found
we're
it.
going to be cool. We're going to be comparing the cost to acquire a customer on AdWords
Sure.
versus the average profit they generate in their lifetime. So
Okay, cool.
pull up your AdWords account. We can kind of plug in some of these numbers together. We'll look at the last 30 days. I know that's kind of the data that we have here. And let's go through
It's
this.
typically how I look at my account. Is last 30 days.
Okay, cool. So we'll go through this together. So you'll see the first question there is the average cost and time frame.
Okay, so the time frame here, 30 days, in AdWords, that would be about $5,546.
Okay, cool. So you can plug that into the average cost and time frame.
Okay.
Next question we see there is number of converted clicks. So again, this isn't number of conversions, but actually number of converted clicks because we're thinking of how many customers
Yeah, what's
you've
the
acquired.
difference between those two?
So converted clicks is actually how many unique customers came in and bought. You could have, for instance, 20 conversions, let's say, but
Okay.
only 10 converted clicks because maybe each person bought 2 times.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Okay. So it looks like that column's already up for me. In the last 30 days, it looks like I've got 112 buyers.
Cool. Great. So you can put that in there. Let's move to the next one. So this is more on the metrics of your business data. So I know some of these will be some rough estimates, but let's do the best to kind of get some numbers in here.
Yeah.
Percentage of customers who actually purchase again.
Um, that's a tough one. I really think that when we did some analysis on this before, kind of took a look back at how many people tend to subscribe. We think about 40% across the board organic traffic, and the folks coming in through AdWords, about 40% of people are coming back and starting the subscription with us and buying more than once.
Cool. That's great. So put 40% on in there. The next one, I know that you do offer a couple different products, and there are some differences in pricing, but
Mhm.
on average, for each of those purchases that happen, how much revenue does that generate?
Well, we overwhelmingly sell coffee per pound, and I'd say that the price, while we have some specialty coffees, the average is close enough to $20 to just
Okay.
call it that, probably $20.
Perfect. And again, you can put in a conservative estimate in here and kind of keep that in mind. So we'll put $20 there.
Sure.
Average purchases per year. So this is a good one to kind of think about how many times your customers would come back and buy within the calendar year.
We the coffee it seems to work really well with folks who are into the very specialized coffee we do from Ethiopia and South America especially. So people really like it once they stick around. They end up buying through the subscription service, which for an avid coffee drinker like my target customer is usually about twice a month. So 12 months in a year, usually about 24 purchases per year. Some folks don't buy it that often though, so let's round down to, let's say, 20 purchases per year for the subscription folks.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead and put 20 into there.
All right.
And then, people will stay in business for a while, some more than others, but on average, how many years do these customers stay in business with you?
That's a good question. We've only been in business for 3 years, so right now, to be totally honest, it looks to us right now that all the folks who started with us are still with us, but a few folks have dropped off. But really, on average, it stayed the same. People really like the coffee; they stick around. We've been in business for 3 years, so let's just put 3 years in there.
Okay, cool. And obviously, you can start adjusting these levers. This is your
Mhm.
calculator as you move forward,
Mhm.
but just to kind of go through an example together.
Sure.
Last part's really important because we don't want to just think of return on ad spend. We do want to take your business costs into consideration. So
Yeah.
let's take out some of the cost of goods sold and put in a profit margin for us to consider.
Okay. Okay. So, well, if you think about, well, we do cover shipping. We also are organic, so we cover a lot of expenses there. And we take a lot of pride in just how fresh everything is. So it's not as good a profit margin as you might typically see. In our case, it's about 30%.
Great. So we'll put 30% into there.
Mm.
Awesome. So now you're going to see some results on your end, and I'll kind of help explain some of these. And if you have questions, let me know. But the
Sure.
main comparison that we want you to look at is, on average, again, the cost to acquire a new customer for you is about $449, about $50.
Mm.
And that customer, on average, in their lifetime, generates about $98 of profit. So almost double.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so again, we're looking at a per customer basis. Obviously, the whole number is a lot higher than this because you had 112
Right.
converted clicks, but really good profit margin on customer acquisition versus lifetime profit.
Yeah, it looks that way. And to be honest, when we were looking at this originally, we couldn't really figure out exactly how this was doing, but we were kind of just looking at the cost per acquisition. I'd say the CPA number there to get one person in, and with $20 $20 a purchase for a lot of those folks, we didn't really know 100% whether this was going to work for us. But when we look at the longer picture here, it looks a lot better.
Yeah, really important for you, right? Because even with your profit margin, you're really saying that you only make about $6 of profit for each purchase that comes through, and if you're spending $50 on that,
Right.
from a one-to-one standpoint, it looks a little bit poor, but that's
Right.
not the accurate picture, and so it's really nice to kind of open up the view of the value that they bring over their lifetime.
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting point to look at too, that break-even acquisition cost. What that's saying is that's how much you could spend to acquire a customer up to the point of where you're breaking even. So if you did spend $147 about to acquire a customer, they would generate about that much in their lifetime. Since you only spend about $50, that's where that $98 profit's coming through. So you definitely
Wow.
even have some breathing room in your bids there moving forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, geez, I didn't know if I was doing this well, I would spend more with you guys.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. I think that you have some room to scale now. And I think, now that we've noticed that this campaign is very optimized and there's room to grow in amount of traffic you're getting, we did talk about that search impression share, and we noticed that there's about 40% more room for you to kind of gain from your budget specifically.
Oh, that's right. So,
Yeah. And again, so I think that's something to where, maybe in the beginning with having some doubts about this, but now that we can see how much profit it really is generating your business, if you do want to scale this more forward, if you were spending, let's say, $6,000 in about a 30-day period, you have a lot more to go in that to increase more conversions moving forward.
so I'm at about $200 a day right now,
Yep.
and there's more people searching. What would you say I should stick the budget at?
So if you're spending $200 a day right now, and there's 40% room to grow, you'd have about $80 more on top of that. So
Okay.
I would increase that to about $280 per day,
Okay.
and I think you're going to see a lot more growth potential. Again, still sticking with these margins, still check in to make sure that the converted clicks is maintaining for that extra traffic that you're getting.
Definitely.
But with this type of return on your investment, I definitely would start to move to scaling that forward.
Heck, why not? It sounds like things are going really well. If we're just making more money than we're spending, then I'm all for it.
Absolutely, man. Sounds good. Well, if you ever have questions, feel free to let me know. Again, feel free to share this calculator with anyone that you work with. It's yours to keep. So just share at the top right. And if you ever have questions, just send me an email.
Will do. Thank you so much for your time.
Cheers. Have a good one.